You guys won't let this go, so here we go. I'm talking about it. I'm not going to edit this video. It's just going to be me talking to you guys, pretty much explaining myself. You're definitely going to hear a lot of stutters because I have speech problems. I suck at speaking. So, here we go. To preface this video, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. Do not take my advice at all. I'm a pre-med student at Penn State. My major is biology on the pre-med track. I'm going to be a sophomore next year, so there you go. That's my background, but it doesn't mean anything because I'm not a doctor yet. Alright? So, what am I taking? Ostarine, also known as MK2866. It's a SARM, which stands for Selective Androgen Receptor Modulator. Pretty much, it has more anabolic properties compared to androgenic properties. That's like the whole idea of a SARM. I've been on it for just over a week now, and the dosage that I'm taking it at is 20 milligrams per day, which, if you look it up, that is very low. And how strong is Ostarine? Not very strong at all. Not very strong at all. According to a Greg Doucette video, he said that Ostarine builds on average about 2 to 4 pounds of muscle extra on top of what you would have gained naturally in a 3-month period. 2 to 4 pounds. And I've been on it a week, so there you go. That's why you haven't noticed gains from... I mean, I have made gains in the last week, but it's not just because of what I'm taking. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, what are the side effects? The side effects, according to some studies, are test suppression, which Ostarine, since it's not very strong, it doesn't suppress your test levels that much. Not compared to stronger SARMs like RAD140 or LGD, Ostarine will not tank your test levels too much. But you should still have a PCT on hand, but I know I've read a lot of stories about people not taking a PCT and feeling fine and not losing strength after. So also hepatotoxicity, which pretty much just means toxic to the liver. It's slightly hepatotoxic. Actually, there's some studies that show that it's not hepatotoxic, but you should be doing blood work and watching your liver enzymes just in case. It's not as bad as drinking alcohol, if that helps you at all. Like a lot of people will drink alcohol, but you don't talk about like how it affects your liver as much as people do with like SARMs and steroids. So yeah, it's healthier than alcohol. So I said test suppression, hepatotoxicity. Oh yeah, cholesterol. It will increase your bad cholesterol, LDL, and decrease your good cholesterol, HDL. So obviously that's not good for your heart. But if you're eating a healthy diet, and like my diet is healthier than probably like 99% of the population, I'd say. I eat pretty clean, and I hit the same calorie range every day between 2,500 and 3,000. So it's better than eating at a 1,000 calorie surplus and gaining 30 pounds of fat. So there you go. What else? You guys asked. A lot of you guys have been asking on that video, why did you take them? What was your thought process into? I want to start my first SARM cycle. So, my ultimate goal is after college, I want to go into sports medicine. So I want to do stuff like this, like researching chemicals like this, working with athletes or people or people who want to lose weight, like obese people, and I wanted to try it. There's a lot better research on. I mean, even though it's new, there's a lot better research on Ostarine than the side effects of steroids. I'm not saying that Ostarine doesn't have side effects or SARMs don't have side effects, but so far it seems like they have less side effects compared to steroids. And they're also weaker, so it makes sense. So I lifted naturally for 2 years. The transformation on my page It's titled 2-Year Natural Transformation. That transformation is indeed natural. I was 100% natural for the entire duration of that transformation. And then after, like, 2 months after I posted that transformation, I was making, like, the best natural gains in my life. And then the gyms closed. And I bought a bench press at home. I started doing home workouts, and then, like, I was benching, like, pretty much every day, because that was pretty much, like, all I could do. And I'm not sure if I tore my pec, but I was benching, and I just felt it tear. Like, I felt a rip, and, like, it hurt just, like, walking around, so I couldn't bench anymore. And I got lazy, and I couldn't really do anything at home because of my injury. And yeah, I wouldn't say I lost a lot of muscle. Uh, I probably, so the physique I built that took 2 years, in the 2 months of quarantine, I probably went down to what I looked like after, like, a year of lifting with a higher body fat percentage. So that's very depressing for me. So when my gym opened, like, towards the end of June, and I wanted to get my gains back quicker. And so that was my thought process. I mean, that was the thought process behind my decision. It'll help me get my gains back that I lost quicker. Because a lot of people comment on my videos, dude, you're so tiny. How are you trying to give lifting advice when you're this tiny? I only listen to people who are bigger than me, even though most of them that say that don't have anything on their profile. So yeah, so everyone says, like, you're too small to give lifting advice. So I want to get back to where I was before quicker. And I don't know, my physique is, I guess I'm close to where I was before, but I feel like I looked better over the winter. I don't know, it's up for debate. I'm probably close, but I feel like I looked better over the winter naturally. And, like, obviously I'm going to get there and higher. So my strength level's almost back to normal. I did sumo deadlifts today, 405 for 4. My bench is back up to normal. I hit 185 for 9, which my PR was 185 for 8. And my squat's lacking the most. Out of the 4 times I've squatted at the gym, 2 of them I felt like absolute garbage. And you know, when your joints hurt when you're trying to squat, it feels so bad. So, like, I was using lighter weight, and doing higher reps. So I did 275 for 3, and my max was 345. So my squat still has a lot of work to do. What was I talking about? So I pretty much I took the Sarms so that I could get my gains back quicker. It's very weak. We need to stop with, like, he's on roids, because 1, Sarms are not steroids. 2, you can't just group everything into roids or not roids. Like, there's an astronomical difference between, like, injecting testosterone and 20 milligrams of Ostarine. Like, Tren is up here. Ostarine is probably the lowest of the low. Ostarine's probably the weakest thing that isn't natural that you can take. Then in the middle you have, it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum of how anabolic these substances are. And I am definitely on the lowest spectrum. So, let me think. Is there anything else that I should be addressing on this? No, I think that answered most of your questions. Oh, I was talking earlier about how I want to get into sports medicine, but I feel like I didn't really elaborate on that. So my plans with TikTok for the future, I want to do it while I'm getting through college, and hopefully inspire a lot more of you guys to start lifting and give you guys advice and stuff and motivation. But I definitely still want to get to med school, graduate college, and become a doctor. That's my ultimate goal, besides anything on TikTok. So when I do graduate, I could still continue to make TikToks, and hopefully I could bring my medical expertise at, granted, this is like 8 years down the road. I could bring my medical expertise into TikTok, and then I don't have to say I'm not a doctor anymore. So yeah, and if I have more knowledge, even like personal knowledge, like anecdotal knowledge about these supplements, I can talk more about them and give better advice with regards to them. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the matter. Don't take Sarms. I'm not promoting it. I just wanted to explain myself. That's it. Peace, guys. Stay swole.